Well, good morning. I'd like to welcome everyone to another episode, or our first episode, I'd rather say, of the Baltimore Real Estate Radio program. My name is Robert McArtor with Remax Components, and I'll be hosting the radio program today. It's 8:02 in the morning, and I'm glad that everyone decided to wake up with me this morning on this bright, cool Saturday morning. There's so much going on around Baltimore, and I'd like to dive into some of the Baltimore real estate happenings that's going on in the area. I'd like to give you some of the news and some of the properties that we have recently put under market and that have closed with us. I'd like to give you some of the market statistics as well. Some of the market statistics that, of course, that you can use as a consumer, and market statistics that that you can take with you if you're looking to sell a property, if you are looking to buy a property in the future in the Baltimore metro area. I'm excited that you've been able to join with us. We have a couple of other things that we're going to be discussing as well. There was an article that just recently came out just a few hours ago that I wanted to talk about through the Baltimore Business Journal. I think it's an excellent article, and we're going to be diving into that here shortly. So, but the first thing we're going to also do as well in the news, or something a little bit of a golden nugget per se, that we're going to offer to you is how to prevent water damage around your home here in the Baltimore metro region. If you're familiar with this area, you know we do get some heavy rain sometimes. And so here recently we did get some heavy rain, and and we want to make sure that that you know how to prevent water damage around your home. And we are going to go through some golden nuggets that you can take with you, and that's going to be important. But let me go ahead and dive into this article that was just published here recently by the Baltimore Business Journal. And this has to do with, and I have some mixed feelings about this, and this has to do with the apartment vacancy hits a 9-year low in Maryland. It was produced by Kevin Linton, and he's an excellent reporter for this for the paper. And I just read from verbatim some of the highlights of the article here. It says, a sharp rise in demand for rental housing has driven Maryland apartment vacancy down to a 9-year low of 8.6% as young people continue to shun home ownership. And that's according to a state report on housing affordability released Friday, which found that millennials, now listen to this, millennials make up the largest share of renters. And people between the ages of 25 and 34 made up of 27.3% of all renter households in 2012, having grown by 10% between 2006 and 2012. So basically, people the ages of 35 to 44 were the second fastest growing group of renters in Maryland. So this report was released by the Department of Housing and Community Development. And it basically warns that a plunging vacancy rate is driving up the cost of rental housing. Now, this is not apartments. This is rental housing. So families who owned homes were paying just 22% of their income towards housing, and those costs rose by less than 1% over the same period of time. And basically the report goes on to say, the quote taken by one of the officials there says that housing officials recognize home ownership may not be for everyone. Now, with that said, my opinion on the article is this, and that is, I understand the premise of the article, and that is, listen, home ownership may not be for everyone. Not everyone is going to be able to afford a home. It just comes down to that. Listen, if just because that cars are available doesn't mean that everyone feels comfortable with buying a vehicle. Not everyone feels comfortable with going behind the steering wheel of a car and getting out on the roads out there. Just because you can pass a test and just because you can obtain your license and afford a car doesn't mean that you want to be able to drive a car. Maybe you do feel comfortable in owning or renting an apartment at this time in your life, and you want to be able to save that money. But at the same time, from a realtor standpoint, I want to also be able to educate you. I want to be able to share with you along with side of my lender and tell you, listen, these are your options that you have. If you have, if there's, there are monies that are available to you through the state that can assist you in your home ownership. If you are currently paying $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 a month rent, I know some couples that are young that are paying $2,000, $2,500 a month rent, but they're just so afraid of taking that next step to owning a home. And I'm just here to share with you, listen, let's take a look. Let's take a second look at what homeownership could mean for you as far as tax advantages are concerned, as far as what your future portfolio is concerned, as far as investments, and what that can look for you, what that picture can look for you. And I think that's important. So that's something that we need to discuss. So whether you use one of my lenders, let's say, or you use a lender that that you choose at one of your banks, that's fine. But if you're paying $1,200, $1,500, $2,000 in rent, and you're thinking to yourself, listen, I don't want to continue renting, and my FICO score is pretty high, and you think that this is going to be a good option for you, then make it. Let's move that forward with that, and let's see. Let's sit down with one of my affiliates on my website. You can go to my website and you can check out one of my affiliates there. I have a couple of fantastic lenders there that can just basically take application over the phone, and they can tell you, listen, this is how much of a home that you're worth, and this is what your monthly payments are going to be. This is how much money you're going to need down. And you would be surprised, I believe, and how much you can afford, based on your FICO score, based on the affordability of the home. And I tell you, once you get tied in with an agent, and you take a look at some of these homes, and get out of that apartment type of living, I think it's going to be beneficial to you. Now, it's interesting because the article talks about millennials that are going from apartments into homes and renting homes. Renting homes are not cheap. Renting homes, you're talking about $2,000, $2,500 a month. So if you're already renting a home, why not take the next step? Why not move into a situation where you could possibly own that home? Now, not every couple is in a different situation. I understand. Maybe you're in a job where they relocate you often. You're in a corporate situation where you do relocate often, things like that. But if you are looking for something a little bit more stable, and you're looking for some stability, this is going to be important, I think, for you. And just give us a call, and let's move from there. The great thing about the format of our show is that if you have any questions, there's two ways that you can contact me. One is you can go to ustream.tv, where some of you may be watching us now, and you can just search out Baltimore Real Estate, and you'll be able to watch me online there. Just get past that first initial commercial, and you can start chatting with me online there, or you can simply just send me an email, and I'm checking my emails online while we're streaming, and that is robertmcartor@gmail.com. So that is the two ways that you can contact me if you have any questions. I'll also be streaming a few minutes after our broadcast, so if you have any other questions then, I will get to them the next broadcast, I promise you, or I will respond to them offline. So that's fine. So those are the two ways that you can get in contact with me. Let's dive into, so that's the article, and I think it's some great information. If you are a first-time home buyer, or if you're a millennial looking to buy in the area. So let's get into a couple of the properties that we've recently done. I'm excited about my sellers on 11 West Riding Avenue here in Bel Air. We just recently closed on that property, and that home was fantastic. It was a 4-bedroom colonial, had a 2-car garage, and we were able to do a wonderful aerial tour of that property along with a walking tour, and we were able to link that directly with the MLS. And we're one of the only agents. I'm one of the only agents in the area that can actually do that, by the way. You're not going to be able to see that with any of the other homes. You're not going to see a high-definition video linked directly to the MLS, which enables us to syndicate that to 4,000 websites nationwide, such as Zillow, Trulia, things like that. When agents say that they have a virtual tour on the MLS, I understand the whole concept of the virtual tour. Listen, it's basically a slideshow of photographs with fancy music. I understand that. I get that. You just have to understand that for us, a virtual tour is as if you're virtually walking through the property. So we're able to have the technology at our fingertips on our team, MarylandHomesTeam.com. We're able to have the technology that we're able to do a full walking tour of the property with an aerial tour, coupled with an aerial tour. It just so happens that the couple that bought this property here saw the tour at seethetournow.com, which is a parent website that I own, and they saw it from Florida, and they contacted an agent up here, decided to take a look at the property, and they made the appointment, and they fell in love with the home. It had the beautiful pool in the back, and they said, this is the home that we need. This is what we want to move our property into. So move our family into. So that's what they did, and we're excited about it. So that's that. Another property that we just recently, and I just wanted to share it with you, recently have under contract right now, is 1814 Wagner Farm Road. It's a 5-bedroom, 5.5 bath home. Again, you can see the tour at seethetournow.com. And that property is located in the community of Wagner Farms, right here in Bel Air. And again, that property, another agent had that property listed for almost 300 days. We were able to get that property under contract in just 39 days. And we were excited about the aerial tour that we did with that and the walking tour, getting that syndicated out there across the country. So again, the buyers were excited about it. The sellers are excited about it being under contract. So we are moving quickly through the process here of making everyone happy and getting this done, getting that property done. So, again, it's just a process, and we're excited about that. So that's just a couple of other properties, and I don't have a graph for them, but a couple of the properties that we do have listed is 1300 Old Joppa Road farmhouse. It's a cute farmhouse, needs complete rehab though. But it does have 3 additional deeded lots. So basically you're talking about 4 lots. One of them is improved with a farmhouse. And then, of course, next door we have listed as well, which is another farmhouse that is 1304 Old Joppa Road. And that requires a 203K loan or cash. That one has some issues with it as far as the well is concerned. It needs a well, basically. It does share a hand-dug well with next door, with the old farmhouse next door. So whoever buys the farmhouse is going to basically cut the water off. So if you do need to get a well for that property. So, but I think it's priced aggressively. We have 1304, which is a 3-bedroom, 1-bath farmhouse, priced at $119. Of course, price is negotiable on that. And then also we have 1300 Old Joppa Road, which is the 3-bedroom, 1-bath farmhouse with 3 additional deeded lots, including the lot that it's sitting on, which makes 4 lots. All of that is priced aggressively at $169,000. That's right off of Route 7. And if you're interested in that property, if you're interested in that, price is negotiable as well. So if you're interested in either one of those properties, please give me a call. You can contact me through my website at MarylandHomesTeam.com, or give me a call. The number's posted right behind me at 443-392-4833, and we'll certainly answer your questions there. Another part of our that I want to get into of our show. We have about 15 minutes left, and I wanted to discuss some of the market statistics. And these are just stats that you can basically take with you. So we have a couple more areas of our show to get into. One is the stats, and one is how to prevent water damage. So let's go into the stats area, and that is these are stats that are gathered for the Baltimore metro area, not county specific. Although we do cover Baltimore County, Baltimore City, Hartford, Cecil, and Arundel, Howard. Frederick, we've sold in Frederick as well. We do cover all of those areas, but we want to make sure that you will be able to see these numbers on the graph. So we've kind of lumped in some of those numbers for you. So please take a look at the graph and see if this works for you. These are basically the active properties. These are the active properties that have sold as of September of 2014. And as you can see, we have Hartford County, which is where I'm at, have gone up. There's actually 1,597 active properties on the market. So sellers are believing that right now is a good time to actually put their house on the market. You're talking about a 30% correction, a 30% change in the market right now in the listings, in active listings, which I believe is fantastic. I think it's an aggressive time to actually put your home on the market, and we're excited about that. So that's Hartford, and then of course you can look at your other counties that you possibly live in. There's Carroll County, but look at those percent of changes between 2013, 2014. Those are huge percentages. And you're talking about 27%, 17%, 26%. Just the Baltimore metro area on average is 24% change from 2013 to 2014, and those are your active homes, and so we see that, and we're sharing that with our sellers. It's exciting to see that as well. But this, so sellers are coming to us. They're calling us and they're saying, look, this is the time to put our home on the market. We are seeing an uptick in the rise of a short sale inventory here in Maryland, because there was a 3-year moratorium on foreclosures. That moratorium is now over. It's been over for probably a year plus now. And so now we're starting to see an uptick as well as for REOs. REOs is basically stands for real estate owned, which are bank owned properties here in Baltimore. And so we're starting to see an uptick in those properties. So with that said, I believe, and I don't have my real estate crystal ball in front of me, but I do believe that coming in spring, summer of next year, that the Baltimore market is probably going to see a small correction. Not sure what that correction is going to be, but you will see some bank-owned properties, in some of these other neighborhoods that are going to be hitting the market. And you're going to think, wow, where do they come from? I thought we were, on a rise. That's what the national news says. Well, please don't focus on the national news right now. You need to focus locally. Because we did have some local legislation that did formulate and change the way this market is turning, at least for the next couple of years, as we get the bank-owned properties through our inventory. So you need to remember that as well. So those are our bank-owned properties. Those are our active listings right now. So let's transition over to we're going to transition over to our next slide here, and that is the correction of our properties that are currently under contract. These are properties that are currently under contract in the counties. This is our first episode, so I'm sorry, I'm looking at my slide list here. And so anyhow, the Baltimore metro area, you're talking about a total of 2,514 properties under contract. So there is a correction there of up to 4.4%. So that's really good. And the county where I live, it's up 7%. So so that's good information to know there. You can see that the only place that has dropped in the amount of contracts is Anne Arundel County. There may be some reasons for that. I don't know the Anne Arundel County market as well. I would have to talk to some agent friends of mine to find out what that correction is for. I do know that that county does have more luxury home market as far as waterfront properties, things like that. That does take a little bit longer to sell in those areas when you do have a correction in the marketplace. So I'm not sure. I'd have to talk to a couple of agents and find out why everything else is in the positive, but then in Anne Arundel County, you do have a negative of 5.2%. And again, it's an area thing. It's a regional thing. It's a county-wide issue. So anyhow, with that said, that is your properties there that are sold. And as far as the days on the market, we're going to grab the days on the market right now. And these are the average days on the market. And we're going to transition to that slide right now. So these are your average days on the market. And you can see that they've actually have increased. And the reason for people are saying, well, wow, if sellers have bought out properties and it's an aggressive, for sale, and it's an aggressive marketplace, you would think that the days on the market would be less. You have more buyers out there. Well, not necessarily. You do, based on that article that I just read a few minutes ago, you don't have as many buyers on the market. So, buyers are opting to rent homes versus to buy homes. So the days on the market do increase. I can tell you now that, you have agents out there that'll spout, oh, I sold homes in, 30 days on the market, and they'll advertise that, and you'll see it on Craigslist, and you'll see it in their ads and their websites and things like that. Every once in a while, agents will get hot properties that will take just a few days. That'll skew these numbers here, but these are the hardcore numbers here, and that is the percent of change of September 2014 from September of 2013. These are the dates here. So this is the percent of changes. So they've actually have increased. So like in the area where I live, you're talking about an average of 92 days. Versus 80 days from last year, so that's up 12%. So you can definitely see the corrections there. Everything has gone up a little bit as far as on the days of market, but the bottom line is that hey, look, properties are selling. So remember that they are selling. So keep that in mind. So with that said, let me get into the article. We just have a few minutes left here together, and if we get into the article here, how to prevent water damage, let me go ahead and just read some tidbits from some information that I've been able to gather on how to prevent water damage. And basically, water damage, you have to remember, is from a realtor standpoint. I've been through seems like 100+ home inspections. It seems to be one of the number one culprits that homeowners are going to face when they find damage around the foundation of their property. And listen, the foundation is the core of your home. It holds the structure together, and you have to take care of it. So when you have dampness around the foundation of the home, it invites carpenter ants, it invites termites, it invites all sorts of mold and mildew. Even inside the home, as water fills up the blocks, if you do have a basement as well. So here are some things of how to prevent water damage. So you can have a peace of mind in knowing that you have a nice dry home. And one is to ensure clean gutters. You want to ensure that you do have a proper drainage and clean gutters around your home. You want to direct the downspouts around your home at least 5 to 10 feet away from the house. I've heard that from a couple of home inspectors, and I just previewed a home inspection report from a house that we have under contract, and the agent sent it to me, and that was one of the issues for my seller. Extend that that downspout out. And get it out there at least 5 feet or so with one of those black extension hoses that you can buy at one of the hardware stores. You want to slope your yard away from the foundation. I can't tell you how many times that I have seen yards that are sloped towards the property. Another thing is you want, as we have just a couple of minutes left here, you want to test your sump pump. You want to check your sump pump at least once a year. It's a huge thing around here, are sump pumps, because where the water table is, and you want to make sure that sump pump is in working condition. So you want it to be able to check the sump pump, and you want to test it more frequently during the storm season, where the water does come through. You want to repair any noticeable dripping pipes. Anything that's noticeable, that's a dripping pipe, you want to be able to repair those. You want to check for any dark spots under the pipes and on the ceilings. That will show you, any kind of wet spots or mold or mildew. You want to repair any cracked caulking. If there's any cracked caulking like that's around the top seal of your windows and things like that, you want to be able to repair that. If you can't repair that, hire a licensed contractor. If you don't know a licensed contractor, you can contact me. I do have some affiliates on my website that you can contact as well that are licensed. We do check their license to make sure they are licensed contractors that can help you out with things like that. So, and you want to inspect the roof for missing and loose damaged shingles as well. So those are just some highlights there. Some things that you want to do to prevent water damage to your home. We're down to the last couple of minutes. My name is Robert McArtor again with Remax Components. Just wanted to thank you for tuning in to my very first online show. It was exciting to be with you. It was exciting that you were able to tune in today to the show. And again, if you have any questions or anything, you can always follow me on Twitter. I'll always send out notices to you when the show is going to begin. And that's at @McArtor. @McArtor is my Twitter. And you can also ask me questions if you have any at robertmcartor at gmail.com. Also, my website is www.marylandhomesteam.com. That's marylandhomesteam.com. That's my website. And also, if you want to search homes in Harford County, just go to www.searchharfordhomes.com. That's searchharfordhomes.com. If you live outside the area of Harford County, anywhere else in Maryland, and you're searching for a property there, and you want to get detailed information on the homes that's directly tied to our MLS, you want to go to freelistingbook.com. That's freelistingbook.com. Those are our two websites. We control them. And you can contact me directly through both of those websites, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of the questions that you may have. If you are interested in a free comparative market analysis for your home, please, you can do that through my website at marylandhomesteam.com, and I'll be more than happy to help you in that area. So, with that said, if you have any questions, please email me. I'm excited that you're able to join with me. It's 8:30, and I'll keep the live stream up for a few more minutes. If you have any questions, you can contact me, and we will go from there. Thank you very much.